Okay, I'd like to call the Oregon City Council meeting to order. Today is January 1st, 12th, I'm sorry. Geez, I can't even read that. 2026. At this time, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. Mrs. Snyder, would you please take roll call of the council members present?
Mrs. Ackerman?
Here.
Mr. Andrus?
Here.
Mr. Drake?
Here.
Mr. Gibbs?
Here.
Mr. Horniak? Mrs. Pauloff? Mr. Wallenczak?
Here.
Okay, Mrs. Snyder, for the record, Mrs. Pauloff and Mr. Horniak called me before the meeting, and they are under the weather and they will not be here tonight. I ask for a motion for their excusal, please.
Mr. President.
Mr. Wallenczak.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move or make a motion to excuse Councilman Horniak and Pauloff from the meeting.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second that.
All right, thank you, Mr. Gibbs.
Any objection?
All right, also joining us this evening is Mayor Steven Solander, City Administrator Joel Major, Clerk of Council. Well, hang on a minute. All right, we ready? Yep, sorry. All right. Clerk of Council Josette Snyder, Law Director China Pfeiffer, Public Service Director Paul Roman, Chief of Police Brandon Began, Assistant Chief Ryan Spangler, Fire Chief Clayton O'Brien, Assistant Fire Chief Mark Mullins, and Finance Director Nick Roman. Next order of business is to approve the meeting minutes from December 15th, 2025, regular council meeting. Also, January 5th, special meeting, January 5th, 2026, committee meeting of the whole. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept that.
Is there a second?
I will support or second.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Gibbs. Thank you, Mr. Andrus. All right. Okay, next on the agenda is persons and delegations. First up to speak is Karen Egan. Ms. Egan, if you'd state your name and address, please, for the record. Thank you.
Karen Egan, 4755 Brown Road. First, I would like to extend my congratulations to Councilman Paul Drake on being selected and voted in as President of City Council. You conducted the first meeting in the role very well, and I wish you continued success. Great
Thank
job.
you.
With that being said, I would also like to give a kudos to Josette Snyder, as she, from the background, kind of handles everything for everyone. And I'd just like to say that you are appreciated. So I have a couple questions. One is for the mayor. So at a previous meeting, the city legal counsel stated that she found no evidence to support a violation of the Ohio Sunshine Law. It was also mentioned that the state of Ohio had been notified regarding an investigation. Additionally, you said that you wanted outside legal to do an investigation. So is the state doing an investigation?
Mr. President.
Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. We were notified just recently of an investigation by an attorney representing the citizens on that.
Is that
I
from
just
the
wanted to
state?
confirm. That's what I just wanted to confirm. Is it the state that is part of that? They would have to send that to the state. Okay. So as of right now, then, no, they would have to submit that to the state.
Okay. Are you having outside counsel?
Yes.
Okay, and how is that process?
So we would need to, I was waiting until we had a law director in place right now, but since we do, we would need to identify a firm to do so, and then ask them to do the review for their, I'm looking for a legal opinion on this situation that occurred.
Are you going to wait till after you hear from the state?
I was gonna move forward on it sooner, just because I had made that pledge, so I wanted to move forward on it as soon as possible.
And the taxpayers are going to pay for that?
Yes.
Okay. Also, my question for you is, when are you available to meet with citizens regarding city-related business?
You're welcome to reach out to me and we can schedule a time to do so.
Okay, there's like a, just call you and,
Yeah, call me, email, whichever you'd like.
okay. Also, I'm aware the 250th committee started meeting, I believe,
Yes.
and we've not had any talk about it. Like, is there any update with that?
I'm gonna defer that to the city administrator because I'm not part of the committee.
Okay.
Mr. President,
Mr. Major.
thank you. Ms. Egan, thanks for bringing that up. Actually, we met today.
Oh, okay.
We meet probably about once a month, and we've had a lot of ideas. We have included, just an update for everybody, we have included some of the high school students from Cardinal Stritch and Clay High School. And, you know, I expressed to them today that how integral they are as a part of this and how appreciative we all are to have them be a part of it, because we seldom ever are able to capture that demographic and receive input from them and have them be a part of the planning process. So it's been refreshing. We all learn something from our interactions with everybody. So as of right now, the Oregon Jerusalem Historical Society is really taking the lead on a lot of the events. So they have their own calendar of events that they're planning for the entire year. Don't want anybody to forget about this, but 2026 is also the 25th anniversary of 9/11. So I know that there's a separate committee that's organizing a memorial event on that day. But also for the 250th committee, the recommendation from the committee as of today, confirmed today, is for the city of Oregon to have a 4th of July event or Independence Day event on July 2nd. But that's got to be, hashed out and, agreed upon by the elected officials and everybody else. So, but that's the recommendation from the committee, and the reason is it's so that there's not competition with other surrounding cities, but also because the scheduling a crew to light the fireworks off is difficult too. So buying the fireworks is one thing,
Right.
and that's okay. We have quotes for that, which are comparable to quotes that we've received in the past. It's just getting the crew scheduled for that. Lastly, most importantly, the committee has been planning an event, one event that coincides with one of the themes of the 250th anniversary, which is America Has a Picnic, which is also sponsored by statewide by Synovus Energy. We have one of their refineries here, and it is scheduled to be at South Shore Park at this time. And it'll be on June 14th. So that's the date of the event. That's tentative. I don't want to speak for the committee and make sure that everything gets confirmed, but Ms. Ackerman, Councilwoman Ackerman is on the committee as well, along with a few other citizens and, the Parks and Recreation staff. So that's what's going on. I don't want to spoil the surprise for what the Historical Society has too, and I know I took up all of your time, so
That's
I don't.
that's all I
it's,
had. I just wanted to know if
I
there
could keep
was
talking,
anything.
but I'll stop there and yield the floor back to the council president.
Thank you for your time.
You good, Ms. Egan? Okay, thank you. Okay, next up, Connie Trudell.
Connie Trudell, 5046 Dove Road. Our federal House Representative Marcy Kaptur spoke about AI data centers on the congressional floor last month. I'm going to share her remarks verbatim with all of you tonight. Here they are. Quote, "Citizens nationwide and across our district are pushing back on AI data centers. They're concerned these facilities demand massive amounts of energy and water, driving up rising regional utility costs even more. How much more will our citizens be forced to pay for power and water? They have a right to know. Will our building trades be true partners in economic growth or just temporary labor while facing higher utility bills at home? And how many permanent jobs will these largely opaque facilities actually provide? Exactly which out-of-town interests will get the profits if these firms succeed? Residents across our region complain state and local approvals are moving too quickly. In Ohio, the crooked PUCO and Ohio's legislature have granted giant tax breaks to data centers, while local township officials remain in the dark about details. That's not fair. Ohioans know what secrecy and inside deals bring. First Energy scandals led to indictment, prison terms, and even suicides. Ohio State House corruption rewards big business and harms the public. The American people deserve to know how AI data centers will affect their communities. Public hearings must be more robust and factual, not merely roadshows by proponents." Unquote. Marcy Kaptur's words mirror the valid concerns expressed by those of us who are in opposition to the proposed data center in our community. We ask that all public officials who have been selected and appointed to serve the residents of our city truly listen to our voices and respond accordingly. Now I'm going to share some words of my own that I put together about leadership. I have some words to reflect upon in regard to leadership. A true leader is a humble servant. A true leader seeks selflessness over self-interest. A true leader upholds righteousness even if he or she is standing alone. A true leader strives to bolster the people he or she has been entrusted to serve, not to diminish them. A true leader values the people, not power. I want to express my sincere gratitude to Mayor Salander for exemplifying true leadership. Our community is very blessed to have you guiding us through the present time with all the twists and turns as we journey forward. I trust that our community will grow and prosper under your care. I pray for you and our community daily. May our Lord bless you and keep you and watch over you and our community. In the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Trudeau. Next up is Jim Davis.
Connie's a tough act to follow. Jim Davis, 5494 Bayshore. There's been a lot of publicity and controversy regarding the rash of data center projects being proposed in our area. To cite a few, Anthony Wayne, Monclova Township, Gibsonburg, Perrysburg, the Meta Project in Bowling Green, and one in Saline, Michigan. We of the United Neighbors of Oregon are in support of the efforts by other local groups opposed to these massive, power-hungry, and resource-intensive projects. These projects are being pushed by local economic development agencies, often with the knowledge and tacit cooperation of local officials and local construction unions. Groups in opposition to these projects have mobilized citizens to question the impact that these data centers will have on their utility rates, property values, noise, air, water, and light pollution, as well as the loss of valuable farmland. As incentive, the developers have promised money for schools, townships, and cities. However, in many cases, there are strings attached as to how the money can be used with regards to job development programs or specialized training. And in many cases, communities are unaware of these restrictions until the deal is done and are left with questions as to how these funds may be used. As compensation, communities are offering huge tax incentives, often stretching into 30 years or more. Given the pace of technological change, these long-term agreements may or may not be worth the paper they are printed on in 10 years. This is on top of additional incentives from the state of Ohio, which we as taxpayers are also footing the bill for, all of which has caused many local communities to pump the brakes. Residents of the Anthony Wayne Group, Aw Crap, have teamed up with, other local groups such as United Neighbors of Oregon to call for 6 to 12-month moratoriums to allow residents time to assess the impact these large facilities will have on their local communities. Under intense pressure from residents, Waterville Township recently enacted a 6-month moratorium over the vigorous resistance of local politicians and Lucas County Economic Development Corporation. Similar moratoriums and denial of rezoning requests have occurred all over Northwest Ohio. Just last week, a councilman from the city of Toledo called for a study of data centers, even though the city may or may not have any sites suitable for such a facility. Meanwhile, public officials have enacted zoning favorable to these data centers, virtually behind the backs of local citizens, all while making vague promises that these zoning changes are actually meant to protect landowners from predatory developers seeking to take advantage. These promises ring hollow when the facts of what has been going on behind the scenes by local officials became evident. Meanwhile, the developer in Middleton Township is in the process of acquiring even more land for the purpose of building a power plant. We here in Oregon are now faced with the same choices. So far, all we as residents have heard are vague promises and sometimes wildly inflated estimates about how much and when these benefits will actually be available, and very little information as to how our concerns are to be addressed. Many of the advocates in favor of the data center are from outside our community, and while reaping the benefits, will not suffer the long-term negative effects of this data center. Meanwhile, there are still many unanswered questions resulting from the questions asked at the town hall that have still not been answered. And although a request was made, only a few of our local officials have actually seen or heard here none of these facilities for themselves. As a result, we at UNO feel that a similar 6 to 12-month moratorium would be an appropriate action by this council to allow a full assessment of the economic development agreement, as well as to develop an understanding of the impact a data center may have upon our wetlands, wildlife, and environment, as well as nearby residents. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Next up is Laura Davis.
Laura Davis, 5494 Bayshore Road. Tonight, I would like to follow up with my husband's suggestion for a moratorium regarding the data center. I think this is a good idea, but we don't want a data center at all. I just feel that if a decision is made now, it will be done impulsively and hastily without giving new council a chance to get organized and acclimated. I would hope that the new leadership will take a step back and really consider whether or not the data center is good for our community. Reasons for suggesting a moratorium. One is changes in leadership and council. The city has had staffing changes as well as a new mayor and some new council members. The administration is still in the process of getting organized and orientation of new staff and council. The new council should have a chance to voice their opinions and ideas before a decision is finalized regarding the data center. Number two, the pending injunction regarding the Open Meeting Act is another reason for a delay on the data center decision. Votes made by the council in question may have to be rescinded or invalid. An important issue such as a data center should not be made at this time under these circumstances. Number 3, there is still a lack of trust in the community. We hope that the new leadership takes into consideration the opposition from the community. Number 4, the lack of trust is also between the city and ODEF. Last week, it was brought up that the city was not aware of the homeowners being evicted by March. This shows lack of communication and trust internally as well as the citizens. Like I said last week, do you really want to do business with people who do not include you in the decisions? There are transparency issues there as well. Number 5, there are still several unanswered questions asked of Will Turner at the town hall. Number 6, the city officials were denied a tour. Why was a tour not done in the early investigative stages of the potential project prior to signing the purchase agreement with the developer? My guess is because those that were originally pushing for the data center only saw dollar signs and they thought that no further investigation was needed. I have presented several good reasons to delay the data center decision. The main reason is that the citizens don't want it. If you really want to know if the citizens want a data center, then put it on the voting ballot. Let us decide. Until then, please approve a moratorium for all of the reasons I have stated. We went to the Anthony Wayne Forum hosted by Jerry Anderson. There was a statement made by Gary Thompson. I will play it for you now.
The city of Toledo has 70 million gallons of excess water capacity and sewer capacity every day.
Please, folks, come on. We've been so good tonight. Let's listen, please.
So if you don't want a data center, then you're not going to get one, is my opinion, okay?
This is the same person who threatened to have the police throw us out of the Oregon Town Hall meeting for expressing our opposition. So if a city does not want a data center, they should not have a data center.
Thank you, Mrs. Davis. Next up is Tom Lambert.
Tom Lambert, 5238 Seaman Road. I'm just up here to clear up some misinformation that was given last week by Ms. Poliff. Nowhere, I talked to Columbus this week, the Ohio Ethics Commission concerning nepotism, and nowhere under their laws or rules does a cousin-in-law fall under nepotism. So either Ms. Poliff was misinformed by the former law director, or she took it upon herself just to lie. But there, under no circumstances is there any nepotism. So she could have voted for whoever she wanted to. I mean, and if she didn't want to vote for me, that's fine. I mean, you're not going to hurt my feelings. But I mean, and personally, I would have felt better if she was going to vote for me to recuse herself because there was a relationship there. But other than that, we voted you people in to get rid of the lies, half-truths, in borderline propaganda. So, thank you. That's all I'm going to say. I hope I don't have to come up here and talk about this again because I do want to move forward with this city because that's the best thing for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lambert. Next up, Rich Nelson.
Rich Nelson, 6419 Corduroy Road. Hi, everybody. Dave, this is strictly for you. I didn't bring any papers, so it's a quick question. Me and you had a quick talk after the last council meeting, and in the end, I just asked you, why don't you do the right thing and step down? You said, I can't. I said, what do you mean you can't? He said, Rich, is complicated. You have the opportunity now to tell me, and there's 2,000 other people want to know why you can't. I mean, tell me, why can't you? I may say, yeah, you're right, I get it, Dave, I understand. But here's your opportunity, because I'm not the one who wants to know this. People are asking, why don't he just step down? Well, record's straight now. Everybody's watching. We're all listening. Tell us why you can't. And I may say, yeah, I get it, Dave. I'm cool with that. But you got to tell us something, not just I can't. You can't do that. Why can't you? I'm all ears, and I'll listen. I said, I may understand. I do have a heart. I may say, yeah, you're right. I get it, Dave. I get you. Answer or not, it's up to you. All I can do is ask. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. Next up, Mr. Omar Smeedy.
Omar Smeedy. Ryan Smeedy. 2949 Camelot. Well, Ryan just celebrated his 15th birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday, Ryan.
Lots of cool fidgets. Well, I'm here for a few different reasons. But before I get into my stuff, you mentioned July 2nd. Who was running that event? OG.
Mr. Major.
Mr. President, Mr. Smitty.
Yeah.
This was a suggestion by the America's 250th Committee to have the observance of Independence Day on July 2nd. That is a Thursday, and the thought process is it's not competing with any other jurisdictions. It's easier to get a crew to light the fireworks. It takes a lot of coordinated effort with the fire department and others.
Okay.
And lastly, many employers will allow employees the day off on July 4th, since it's on a Saturday. The thought process is that some employers, if not all of them, will allow the observance of 4th of July on the 3rd, so giving employees the day off on July 3rd. So it was just a suggestion by the committee. It would be something like akin to what Boomfest is, and that would be the observance on that.
Yeah, well, that was why I brought, that was one of my topics that I was going to talk about today was Boomfest. And so, because as I recall, last year, it was a big deal. It was a very long, it was sloppy. Even Mike, I'm sure, wasn't very happy with the way things went. I'm sure, I know all of you guys were very concerned about it. And so, as I recall that day, we talked about it, and Horniak went off on a long spiel about, well, next year, if we're gonna do it, we should start early, January. So, boom, we're here in January. My thoughts are we doing a Boom Fest? If we are, can you get a Boom Fest committee rocking and get this planned properly? That's for you, Mr. Mayor.
Sorry, I wasn't sure if that was a question to me. Mr. President?
Go ahead.
So this year with the America 250th, that is going to be our celebration in lieu of Boomfest for 26.
Okay.
We'll revisit that for 27. But I'm expecting us to have a Boomfest type event in 2027. But like I say, with the 250th, that's what we're focusing on for this year.
So
with that
the
committee.
city funds that are appropriated for Boomfest will just, for next year then? We will not be using that towards this event?
I'm not, to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure if the funds will be allocated from that for this year or not. We haven't really discussed that. So I don't know at this point in time.
Fair enough. Moving right along. Well, somebody talked about the independent investigation, so that was another topic of mine. Another topic, what is the status of the new city administrator position?
Mr. President? As of right now, Mr. Mazur is our city administrator until the end of the month. So
Correct.
at that point in time, we would review having an acting, which we've already discussed, Paul Roman to be an acting if need be. And then we would do an ad asking for applications and applicants to submit interest.
Fair enough, thank you. Speaking of Mr. Roman, Mr. President, I'd like to, Mr. Roman, so I was just curious, obviously we're in the middle of winter, but the Star Avenue, I wanted to ask about it last year and I never did, but going down the downhill towards the I-280 on-ramp, Star Avenue West. Lots of bumps and valleys in there. I was just curious, is it on the docket to get that resolved this year, or?
Mr. President, Mr. Smeady, we do have a project that we did receive grant funding from two different sources, one from ODOT and another from OPWC, but we do plan to bid that project here in the next few months. It's a full replacement of Star Avenue in that concrete section, and then it's mill and fill all the way past east of Wheeling Street. And then it's a section of going on Wheeling from Randall up to, I think it's Northvale, or no, it's the next street up north of Star Avenue. But it's a big project, and it is
Yeah.
planned for this year.
Well, that's amazing. I'm very happy to hear that.
Yep.
Sounds like it's a lot more extensive than I was expecting, but yeah. Fair enough. Next topic. You know, Mr. Mayor, I drive to Kroger's every day. I'm probably their best customer. Unfortunately, we drive by the Holy area. Well, not unfortunately. The unfortunate part is the trash is still valid. On a daily basis, it's there. In fact, I got out of my car. I was that upset or disappointed. I got out of my car. I went through and looked in the field to see, you know, where is this all coming from? Well, from what I could tell, it looks like it's mostly Kroger's. And I would like to know, you know, you guys built a new bike trail there over by Walmart where we picked up litter, and it's still bad there. It's just very disappointing. You know, something has to be done. It's not very difficult. It's not asking a lot. In fact, I remember speaking with one of Paul's engineers one time. That ditch actually leads out to the lake. Not good. You know, so I just wanted to make sure that, you know, that wasn't lost, and that maybe Shrake can do something to put some pressure on Kroger's and some of those other businesses. I mean, there's a bunch of dumpsters in the back. It's not just Kroger's, to be fair. But most likely it is a lot of because their customers do also throw it in the parking lot. The easterly winds that Paul talked about in the past, right to the ditch. So I don't like it. And people biking on that trail there by the pond, the drainage pond by Walmart, it's just
30 seconds.
Nice to see all that right along a brand-new bike trail. I don't like it. Please put some pressure. Thank you.
Thank you, Omar. Okay, that'll put an end to the citizens speaking. Next is the agenda items. We'll go to, I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor. I got a turn. I lied to you, but now I'm going to tell you the truth. You can go ahead with your appointments so they can move on.
All right, thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, we're just going to jump a little bit out of order here so that some of our officers being appointed here can get back to what they need to do. So starting off with the appointment of Jared Sanchez to the Oregon Police Department effective January 18th, 2026. He will be at step 6 of the OPPA pay rate for police officers with an annual salary of $91,728, which is an hourly rate of $44.10. And so I'm just looking for council's concurrence.
Mr. President?
Mr. Wallensack.
Mr. President, I move to concur with the mayor's appointment of Jared Sanchez to the Oregon Police Department.
Second.
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gibbs.
All right, thank you, council. Next will be the appointment of Alyssa Sockman. She will be to the Oregon Police Department. She will be appointed effective January 19th, 2026. She'll be placed in the new officer step 1 of the OPPA pay rate with an annual salary of $77,521.60, which is an hourly rate of $37.27. So I'm just looking for council concurrence on that.
Mr. President?
Mr. Wallensack.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move to concur with the mayor with the appointment of Alyssa Sockman to the Oregon Police Department.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Mr. Gibbs.
All right, thank you, council. Next would be the appointment of Paul Frazier to Oregon Police Department. This will be effective February 2nd, 2026. Mr. Frazier will be at step 1 of the OPPBA pay rate with an annual salary of $77,521.60, which is an hourly rate of $37.27. Looking for council concurrence.
Mr. President.
Mr. Wallensack.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move to concur with the mayor's appointment of Mr. Paul Frazier to the Oregon Police Department.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second?
Mr. President, I'll support or second.
Thank you, Mr. Andrews.
Thank you, council. Next will be for Brandon Floro, appointed to the Oregon Police Department. His appointment would be effective February 2nd, 2026. He'd be placed at new officer step 1 of the OPPA pay rate with an annual salary of $77,521.60, which is an hourly rate of $37.27. Looking for council concurrence.
Mr. President.
Mr. Wallensack.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move to concur with the mayor's appointment of Brandon Floro to the Oregon Police Department.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mr. President, I will second.
Thank you, Mr. Andrews.
Thank you, council. Next, it'd be Jacob Keith to the Oregon Police Department. His appointment would be effective February 2nd, 2026. Be placed at step 1 of OPPA pay rate with an annual salary of $77,521.60, which is an hourly rate of $37.27. Looking for council concurrence.
Mr. President.
Mr. Wallensack.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move to concur with the mayor's appointment of Jacob Keith to the Oregon Police Department.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mr. President, I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Andrews.
Thank you, council. Next will be a resignation from the Oregon Fire, resignation of Zach Vargo as permanent part-time firefighter 2 EMT in the fire department. Does not have an effective date, but.
Mr. President.
Mr. Wallensack.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move to concur with the mayor's acceptance of the resignation of Zach Vargo from the part-time firefighter in the Oregon Fire Department.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Mr. President, I'll second.
Thank you.
Thank you, council. Next will be a little bit different. Here we are. This is for Mr. Wagner of the water treatment. He is withdrawing his acceptance for employment of the city of Oregon as water treatment operator. So looking for your council concurrence on accepting that.
Mr. President.
Mr. Roman.
And just to note.
Oh, I'm sorry. Correction, I did the wrong name. I apologize. It was written to Mr. Wagner. This is for Angela Mills, withdrawing her acceptance.
And if I could, Mr. President, it's just that she had accepted the position and then had second thoughts and then decided not to take the position. So because she was appointed through this council, she has to resign in this manner. And so we're looking at other candidates. I just want to let you know, but certainly she just had second thoughts and chose to stay with her current job. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Roman.
Thank you.
Mr. President.
Mr. Wallensack.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move to concur with the mayor with the acceptance of the resignation of Angela Mills as Oregon water treatment operator.
Okay. Is there a second?
Mr. President, I second that.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gibbs.
Thank you, council. And finally, we've got a couple appointments here to some boards and commissions. First, starting with Board of Zoning Appeals, be appointing Thomas Lambrick of 5238 Seaman Road for the term of 1/1/26 to 12/31/26. This will be completing the term of Dave Andrus. And then also Michael Rowe of 3704 Brown Road, and his term would be from 1/1/26 to 12/31/28. We'll just get them all here at once. So then we have the Planning Commission. I've got from 1/1/26 to 12/31/29, Ralph Burgess of 577 Bridgewater Drive. 1/1/26 to 12/31/29, Robert Oberdorf of 3316 Hazelton Drive. And then finally, in the records retention, pointing from 1/1/26 to 12/31/29, Mr. Jerry Eversman of 3131 Springtime Drive. Council?
Mr. President.
Mr. Wallenczak.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move to concur with the mayor's appointment of Mr. Thomas Lambrick and Michael Rowe to the Board of Zoning Appeals, Mr. Ralph Burgess and Robert Oberdorf to the Plan Commission, and Jerry Eversman to the Record Retention.
Thank you, Mr. Wallenczak. Is there a second?
Mr. President, I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Andres.
Thank you, Council. And that concludes everything. I just want to congratulate our officers that were just appointed, everybody else too, but mostly our officers. Thank you so much. Welcome. And you guys don't have to, you all don't have to stay around for the exciting part of the meeting if you'd like. We appreciate you being here. Thank you and welcome again.
Congratulations, guys.
Omar.
Yeah, I was hoping for that. We have a lot of things in a short council. Barely have a quorum.
Okay, next on the agenda is the items we discussed last week at Committee of the Whole. First item is item 1, presented by Mayor Solander. Council, is there any additional questions on that particular item? And Mayor, do you have anything to add to it?
Nope. Just for those who didn't hear, just real quick, I'll just throw it out there. This is just the annual ordinance for a blanket ordinance to giving all department heads the ability to go out and accept bids. Happy to answer any questions.
Council, any additional questions? Hearing none, I will assign item 1-2026 as ordinance 1 of 2026. And Ms. Snyder, would you please read it into record, please? Thank you.
Authorizing the City Administrator, Director of Public Service, Chief of Police, Fire Chief, Commissioner of Parks and Recreation, Commissioner of Building and Zoning Inspection, Finance Director, and other municipal administrators, subject to the written authorization of the mayor to take bids on equipment, materials, supplies, maintenance agreements, and insurance from time to time without the requirements for further legislation to be adopted by the City Council and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President.
Mr. Wallenczak.
Mr. President, I move for passage of ordinance number 1 of 2026 as an emergency measure.
Is there a second?
Mr. President, I second.
All right, seconded by Mr. Andrews. Thank you. Ms. Snyder, would you please take roll call?
Mr. Wallenczak?
Yes.
Mr. Andrus?
Yes.
Mrs. Ackerman?
Yay.
Mr. Drake?
Yay.
Mr. Gibbs?
Yes.
That's all.
Okay. 5 yeas and 0 nays. Thank you. Ordinance passes. Okay, next item is item 2, presented by Mayor Steve Solander and Police Chief Brandon Began. Mr. Began.
Thank you, Mr. President. I spoke on this a little bit last week, but this ordinance is to enter into an agreement between our department and Owens Community College Center for Law Enforcement and Professional Development Training to provide training through the consortium membership. The consortium is a group that they have out at Owens, and they provide nearly 100 trainings throughout the year. And most of those will be included in the membership cost, which would be $1,050 for the whole year of 2026. And we send officers to this quite often. It's a great opportunity to have local training that is very budget-friendly for our 48 officers when we're at full staffing. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Thank you, Chief Began. Council, is there any other questions? Hearing none, I will move items 2-2026 as ordinance. 2026.
And ask me to read it in the record.
And I'll ask Ms. Snyder to read it into the record.
Authorizing the mayor, finance director, and chief of police to enter into an agreement with Owens Community College Center for Law Enforcement and Professional Development Training to provide training consortium membership to the Oregon Police Division and declaring an emergency.
Council.
Mr. President.
Mr. Wallenczak.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move for passage of ordinance number 2 of 2026 as an emergency measure.
Is there a second?
I'll second that,
All right, thank you.
Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Gibbs.
Mr. Wallenczak?
Yes.
Mr. Gibbs?
Yes.
Mrs. Ackerman?
Yay.
Mr. Andrus?
Yes.
Mr. Drake?
Yay.
5 yeas.
Passes with a vote of 5 yeas, 0 nays. Next up is item 3, presented by Mayor Solander and Public Service Director Paul Roman. Mr. Roman.
Mr. President, I have nothing to add for items 3 and 4. They both are chemical purchases for the wastewater treatment plant, but I wanted to comment on item 5.
Okay.
And that is, and I excuse me talking to the mayor early in the beginning of the meeting. I just wanted to get his opinion, but we wrote that ordinance as an emergency because we needed to send the approved submerged land lease and pay the invoice by the end of January. My concern is with only 5 council people here, Mr. Andrus did do the design for that, or did the survey work for that submerged land lease. He should be an abstention. So with only 4 votes, it would not pass as an emergency. So my ask is, can it be moved to the January 26th council meeting, or the next council meeting in January? To be tabled and moved to that meeting is my request for that item. That's all.
Okay. Any objections, council? Hearing no objections, we'll table it till January 26th.
That's correct.
Okay.
Or the next council meeting in January, which I think is that day. That's right? Right? Yep. Next, yes.
Okay, regular meeting.
Regular council meeting.
Yep,
Yep.
all right.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. But I have no other comments on 3 and 4 as well.
Okay. Okay. I will sign item 3 of 2026 as ordinance 2026.
And ask me to read it in the record.
Ms. Snyder, would you please read it into the record?
Authorizing the mayor, finance director, and director of public service to issue purchase orders to SNF Polydyne, 1 Chemical Plant Road, Riceboro, Georgia, for the purchase of Claraflox C6266A dewatering polymer for the wastewater treatment plant.
Council.
Mr. President.
Mr. Wallenczak.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move for passage of ordinance number 3 of 2026 as an emergency measure. Well, excuse me, no emergency measure.
Okay. Is there a second?
Mr. President, I'll second.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Andres.
Mr. Wallenczak?
Yes.
Mr. Andrus?
Yes.
Mrs. Ackerman?
Yay.
Mr. Drake?
Yay.
Mr. Gibbs?
Yes.
Ordinance passes
5 votes.
5 votes.
5 yea votes.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
Next on the agenda.
Next item number 4, 2026. Council, do you have any additional questions? Hearing none, Ms. Snyder, please take roll call.
I'm going to read it in the record.
All right.
Authorizing the mayor, finance director, and director of public service to issue purchase orders to Kim Mira, Department 77522218, Chicago, Illinois, for the purchase of liquid ferrous chloride for the wastewater treatment plant.
Council,
Mr. President.
Mr. Walczak.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move for passage of ordinance number 4 of 2026.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you,
Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Gibbs.
Mr. Walczak?
Yes.
Mr. Gibbs?
Yes.
Mrs. Ackerman?
Yay.
Mr. Andrus?
Yes.
Mr. Drake?
Yay. Passes 5-0. 5 yeas, 0 nays. Okay. Next item, presented by Mayor Solander and Finance Director Nick Roman. Mr. Roman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have nothing additional to add to this, but this is an update to our income tax code to more mirror what the federal and state code says, and just some of the wording. If there's any questions, please let me know.
Okay. Okay. Council, any questions?
Mr. President,
Ms. Ackerman?
could Mr. Roman please read that for us? Just kidding. It's pages and pages.
Yeah, it's about 50 pages long.
He'd like to watch a football game sometime this evening, so I just thought I'd.
All right. I'll assign item 6, 2026. Ordinance 2026. And ask Ms. Snyder for the record.
Amending Part 1, Title 9, Chapter 193, titled Income Tax of the Oregon Municipal Code and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President.
Mr. Walczak.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move for passage of ordinance number 6 of 2026 as an emergency measure.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second?
Mr.
Second.
President.
Sorry.
I defer.
Ms. Ackerman.
No problem. Second.
Second. Thank you.
Mr. Walczak?
Yes.
Mrs. Ackerman?
Yay.
Mr. Andrus?
Yes.
Mr. Drake?
Yay.
Mr. Gibbs?
Yay.
Passes by 5 votes. 5 yeas, 0 nays. Okay. Next up on the agenda is a liquor permit. Council, we have a liquor permit on the agenda to consider this evening. Council, do you have any questions regarding this liquor permit?
Mr. President,
Mr. Gibbs.
I have some concerns about this.
Okay.
The Dolgen Midwest LLC, this permit is for that name. They're not the property owners. According to the auditor's office, the deed is in Highland Ventures' name. So I'm concerned about who really owns this property, or who the permit is going to.
Okay, I'll ask Ms. China or Mr. Major, I'm sorry.
Mr. President, Mr.
Mr.
Gibbs, so liquor permits come in the permits, let me, it's on the very back. And what the action that council, what's being reviewed is whether or not to request a hearing, requesting that a hearing be held. If you look on the back page, this is the liquor permit form. And typically, if the permit comes in, it's from an LLC, it could be an operator, not necessarily a property owner. So it could be a tenant of somebody, and then the property owner wouldn't get the permit, and the operator's getting the permit. So, but this is merely more of a, you know, for lack of a better word, it's more of a formality for council to request a hearing or not. So if council decides not to take any action, it's considered no action and no request for a hearing. So that's what this review is on the council agenda, is my understanding. I'm not the law director. For what it's worth. For what it's worth.
That's correct.
Mr. President,
Mr. Gibbs.
would that hearing be before council?
Mr. President and Mr. Gibbs, so this would be on the permit form again, so it says, if you're requesting a hearing, it would be in the county seat. So in other words, it would be I think they have them at the Lucas County Common Pleas Court, so it would be one of their, somewhere down in the city of Toledo. So the city of Toledo is the county seat, or it can be requested in Columbus. Those are the two options.
Okay, Mr. President.
Mr. Gibbs.
So we would have no say-so in this whatsoever.
You can attend the hearing, but as for having a say in it, you'd have to have a compelling argument as to why this permit should be denied. There should have to be some kind of substantiating evidence. This city council just recently actually requested a hearing because of some questions due to the ownership of the business that was applying for it, or the individuals that owned the business that were applying for it. That hearing was held, and they were still awarded the permit. So just to give you a reference of what's happened in the past.
Okay, Mr. President.
Okay, hang on one second, Mr. Gibbs. Chief Vegan, I see you had your hand up first.
City Administrator Joel Mazer did speak on what I was going to bring forward, but typically when these liquor permits come through, it's through the Department of Liquor Control, the Department of Public Safety, and they will send over the forms to our department if it's an individual owner, and we'll do a background check on that individual. If there's anything in that background check that comes up that's concerning to us, we will notate that in a letter to City Council. It also goes to the other department heads within the city for review for, I believe, delinquent taxes, zoning violations, or anything like that. This one in particular, through the Dolgen Midwest LLC, they have already applied for other liquor permits in the state of Ohio. They've already been vetted in the state of Ohio, and they must have multiple liquor permits that have already been obtained. So they did not send any type of background to us because it has already been vetted through the state of Ohio and multiple other cities or municipalities within the state of Ohio. When something does come up, and I've been in this position for about 5 years, and we've had one situation came up that there was some concerns with the background of the owner who was getting the liquor permit. We did put out a letter to council documenting that and asking for council to request a hearing. We did do a virtual hearing with former law director Melissa Papura, Assistant Chief Spangler, myself. We advised of our concerns, and the liquor permit was still approved by the state. We don't have a whole lot of say in it, but we will bring any concerns forward, certainly from the police department, and I'm sure any other department head, if there's delinquent taxes or anything else, we'll bring that forward, let the concerns be known, and request for council to request a hearing, check the box to request a hearing on the form.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Began. Mr. Gibbs, did you have anything else?
You know, I'm just a simple guy. You know, I like things to be done simply. And there's so many parcels, there's like 8 or 10 parcels on that property. And the deed is in Highland Ventures' name, okay? That's the deed, the owners of it. And I'm not really understanding all this Dolgen stuff, you know. If they're throughout the state, sounds like they have a monopoly on this, okay? And I know that store itself, they're selling beer right now, and for them to upgrade to selling liquor, I just don't think we need more liquor sold in our city. That's just my opinion, though.
Okay. All right, thank you. Chief Began, I'm sure you don't go in there a whole lot. Mr. Gibbs mentioned that they're going to sell liquor. Is it the like the cheap stuff you get where it's like 35 proof and 99% sugar, or is it like 80 proof, or? I can't believe it's like a state liquor store.
Mr. President, that is my understanding. I don't have the form in front of me, and I would have to look at what the different liquor permits are. But typically for a convenience store or grocery store type setting that this is, it would be limited. It wouldn't be like a state liquor store where they're selling 80 proof or higher liquor.
Okay, all right, thank you. Council, is there any other questions? Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. President.
Mr. Walczak.
Mr. President, I move that we recommend that we check the box that we do not seek a hearing.
Okay, is there a second? I'll second it. Okay. Ms. Snyder, check the box. You did that. Thank you. Okay. Next on the agenda, having considered all items on the agenda this evening, we will now follow on to the mayor's report. Mayor Solander.
Thank you, Mr. President. I've taken care of all the appointments, so really the only other thing I have is I was just given this, speaking about the 250th, we've been given a flag. I haven't even opened it yet, so. But that, whoop, I can't. All right. Oh my God. It's difficult. All right, but that's what the flag looks like. And official. So this flag, the current Oregon flag out there is a little tattered, so this will actually be placed in place of the Oregon flag out front. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Mr. Major.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just to follow up, the C2 liquor permit does allow for wine sales and low-proof mixed beverages up to 21% alcohol. So that's what that permit is for. And it's sealed containers. It's not like they can serve alcohol there. It's just sealed containers. Just a quick follow-up on that. And the other item I have is that to follow up on the tours of the data centers and scheduling something. I did reach out to the developer. I was informed that contact with the Regional Growth Partnership would be coordinating tours. Mr. Gary Thompson would be scheduling the tours, and so far, I've been informed that Councilman Steve Horniak, Councilwoman Ackerman, and Mayor Solander are interested in attending. I have informed him of that. If there are any more individual council members that want to attend, we may have to schedule a separate tour just so that we don't conflict with the sunshine laws. So my recommendation to council members is to, if you are interested in touring a facility, to get those, let Ms. Snyder know, and then hopefully between her and I, we can coordinate and help schedule something. If we have to do 2 different tours then, or more, then maybe we can do something like that. So just a suggestion, it's in its infancy, but we'll work on scheduling that. So if you are interested, please let her know. That's all I have, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Major. Ms. China Pfeiffer.
Yes, Mr. President?
Do you have any report?
I do. No report yet.
Okay.
It's only day one, so.
That's good. All right, Mr. Roman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to let council know, and you're well aware of it, but we did send out an advisory notice to property owners on Navarre that have sidewalk from the West Corp line to Lollendorf, just advising that they need to keep their sidewalk clear of snow and ice. And it was signed by myself and Mr. Schraik on behalf of the mayor. So those went out last week. That's it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Mr. Walczak.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I have no report from my standing committee, but I did want to bring up, obviously, we had a kerfuffle here when we looked at a process for nomination. I want to propose that we all consider in the next week or two, bring up a proposal, have every council think about how they would want that next spot to be filled. We've had 4 times since I've been on city council that spots have been open. Let's hammer this out and figure out how the next one, what comes up, as a council policy on how we're gonna move forward. And then we never have to be in that situation again. But if we could all think about what our thoughts would be and bring them to a committee of the whole meeting where we can have some discussion on the different thoughts and how it should work, so we can hammer it out so the public knows the next time, because there will be a next time, so the public knows how we're going to act. That's what I would ask my other council members to do that.
All right, thank you, Mr. Walczak. Anything else?
No, that would be it, Mr.
All right,
President.
thank you. Ms. Ackerman.
Mr. President, nothing from a standing committee. I want to make sure that people who want to watch this football game get to see this football game. But anyway, I do want to thank Mr. Major for following through with making sure that Oregon gets recognized with the Ohio 250 program. And I know I was a real pain because I kept getting on their website and saying, we're not there yet. I don't see us on there yet. Why aren't we on there yet? But he was already on it, had it taken care of, but I just want to thank you for that, because I do know there are more citizens that do want to get involved. Are we still, we're still, they can still get involved, right? Correct? We're still early enough in our plans for the year? Okay, now the Historical Society, all of the things that they have planned through the year, I believe you would need to become a member of the Historical Society to participate in, but the things that the city is doing, everyone's obviously more than welcome to any events that we're planning for this year. And so, yeah, never ever want to make it look like it's a cliquey thing. So please let me know if you're interested in taking part in any of the events for the city for this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ackerman. Mr. Andrews?
Mr. President, I did have the opportunity at 6:30 this morning to meet Mr. Henniger from Streets. Had a nice conversation, found out that he gets up at 3:30 in the morning, just like I do. Also on another matter, with regards to the tours of the data center, I did take the liberty of signing up as a citizen to tour the facility in New Albany, or is it, no, in Columbus. And I have did not receive any kind of email response. Am I to assume that there is something in the works to get tours? Or, because on Friday when I did not hear back from them, I went into their telephone carousel and wound up in a myriad of voicemail boxes until I called security. And security actually got somebody, and they told me that you had to do it online, and they were behind. So is this a done deal? Is this really gonna happen? Or I was thinking of jumping in my car and driving down Friday and knocking on their door. I mean, is this gonna happen?
Mr. President and Mr. Andrus, thank you for asking that. Again, we don't schedule it we're not the facility owners, right? So yes, but I've been informed that Gary Thompson with the RGP is helping coordinate the tours. So I would just suggest that if you're interested and you're not getting any feedback from your online inquiry, to get your name with, if you're interested, let Ms. Josette Snyder know, and between the two of us, we'll try to help coordinate and get this scheduled. So is it a done deal? No, I mean, we got to coordinate it yet, so we can get it on everybody's calendars. So.
All right. Thank you, Mr. President.
Yep.
Thank you. Mr. Gibbs.
Mr. President, as far as the committees go, I have nothing to report other than I have had great conversations with people on council about this, and they've been very informative. They've been very helpful, and I'm just thankful that we have the people we have right now that can share the information that some of us that don't know a whole lot can glean and learn. And what was said about Josette, got to give her a thumbs up. She is very helpful in everything, communication and all that. I do have something I'd like to share, if that's okay, Mr. President. This was going to be shared last week, however, there was a lot going on last week. And I'll try and keep this brief for those that really need to get to that game. Okay. First and foremost, I want to give thanks and the glory to Almighty God for allowing me to be elected to this council. Secondly, to my wife, family, and friends who have supported me in more ways than I could ever have imagined. Thirdly, to all the people in the city of Oregon who supported me with their vote and prayers. As most of you know, the slogan was used throughout my campaign was Freedom Matters. Freedom, as you know, is an essential part of our lives. For myself, it begins with the Bible in John 8:36, with Jesus speaking. He says, "If the Son therefore shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed." When I accepted Jesus as my Savior, He forgave my sins and set me free from the penalty of sin, which is to be eternally separated from God. Now by His grace, I can be called a child of God because we are all children of God by faith in Christ Jesus. Now with that being said, someone will ask me, what does all this have to do with you being a city councilman? My faith allows me the freedom to make decisions based on principles, not party affiliation, principles, not profits, principles, not popularity. This takes me to what is really important to say. We as a society really have had things turned upside down and backwards. God wants to help us manage government. After all, He ordained government. The word overflow comes to mind as we have seen the government overflowing into places of worship, threatening our freedom to worship. Dare we forget what took place during COVID-19 when we were being told what was essential and non-essential? In reality, we need biblical principles overflowing into government. This year, we will be celebrating 250 years of independence. We will not be able to do that if we keep compromising the principles that have made us free. My prayers and work for our city of Oregon will be keep it independent and push back on governmental overreach. Once again, thank you for allowing me to serve as one of your council members. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Gibbs. Okay, I have nothing from my standing committee. I just want to let Josette know, and as Joel said, I guess if any other council people are interested in touring one of the data centers, let them know. I don't know if we could drive two separate vehicles or however that would work. I would be interested to see a different one. I seen Sandusky's, but it was in the middle of still being built, so it was kind of, wasn't 100%. I don't think you could just walk in there and prop your feet up, look around, and do anything. So hopefully whoever else is interested in it, I would like to. Also, thanks to Mr. Roman, and I know Andrea, you guys sent that letter out for the sidewalks. That was good. Other than that, I have nothing else. I don't know if any other citizen has something. I meant to say it last meeting, but my head was spinning. I did get a somewhat of a clarification for Mr. Trudeau. I could either tell him now or after the meeting as far as the order of speaking. So is that what you're going to ask, Mr. Trudeau? Okay, come to the microphone, please. Thank you.
Dominic Trudeau, 5046 Dove. Mr. Andrews, you said that you had requested, being able to go to a data center as a citizen. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is there potential for having citizens sign up for the same tour?
Mr. President, Mr. Trudeau, I would have to confer with whoever's setting it up. So I don't know anybody who's affiliated with the companies other than the developer that we're working with. So I don't have those connections. So I'm solely relying on other people to help us out with that.
Right, but that's not my question.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if they would allow citizens to.
Can you inquire?
I will, yes. Yes, I will.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry if it wasn't as direct.
Yeah. All good.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Do I seek a motion to adjourn? Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Mr. Gibbs.